Oops. Good evening. Good evening, everybody. For those watching me live, I am fixing my hair. I know it seems like a lost cause, right? Especially considering this mirror is not going the right way. This camera. This camera is. Anyway, whatever. Hello. Good evening. Right, I have to give my apologies to anyone who tried to tune in to me on Friday. I've been a little bit out of sorts recently. I haven't been quite myself, and even though I had planned to do a show on Saturday instead, um, yeah, I was just not really up to it, to be honest with you. So, as for all my viewers in the US, just to let you guys know, so I'm just going to adjust the camera here a bit. It's just me, and I'm not very good at this stuff. Well, I want to say I'm not terrible. I'll let you be the judge of that. But hmm. Oh, hello, darling. Hello, Paula. I'm so glad you could join me tonight. Thank you so much. Yeah, so I was feeling a bit out of sorts on Friday and over the weekend. I just my my get up and go had decided to take a really long cruise around the world. And I didn't know if it was coming back, frankly. I mean, I knew I was coming back, but as for my get up and go, it looked like it had gone on holiday, an extended holiday. In other words, in the words of Austin Powers, I lost my mojo. I lost my mojo. Didn't have it. Didn't have any of it. It gone. It decided, see ya, I'm out of it, and it went. But I wouldn't necessarily say it's back. I'd say like tonight, my mojo has decided to send us a postcard to say, I wish you were here. That kind of thing. Or maybe we're like doing FaceTime. Me and the mojo are doing FaceTime or something. I don't know. But, you know, um, I suppose it's going to take a concerted effort. I suppose maybe my mojo kind of wrote me a Dear John letter and said, I'm leaving you. I found someone else, someone so much better than you. I don't know. But that's how I'm gonna think of my mojo. But anyway, so as I'm sure anyone who had decided to watch this show would know, I edited, I changed the title of the show. Why, you may ask? Well, I've tried to stay away from TV and news broadcasts recently because I think that was part of the problem. Um, I don't know how many of you may have guessed it, but I'm kind of empathic. I'm kind of an empath. So, and I think it's fair to say that I'm kind of like an indigo empath and maybe an intuitive empath. Sometimes when I'm looking at the cards, I will get a feeling of almost as if I'm in the room while something is happening. I can't see it with my eyes and I can't necessarily hear it with my ears, but I'm there like a witness. It's almost like I'm a witness and I'm getting all these feelings and all these emotions from whoever else is in the room seeing and hearing it. Oh, thank you so much, darling Brett Love. Oh, babes. Lovely to see you here tonight. Thank you so much for joining me. Yes. So as I was saying, I'm kind of an empath. So like you would see me get really excited or like be really um yeah, be really excitable or pull faces or whatever. Yeah, when I do my reading sometimes, and it's almost as if I'm in the room when stuff is happening. So I'm feeling all those emotions. Now, the last video I did was on Dominic Raab. I would ask you to take note that I was actually very subdued during that reading. And the reason why is because I was feeling his feelings, which was definitely a bit different for me. A bit different. Normally, I can feel the feelings of situations that I can feel coming. But in this situation, I was feeling his feelings and his feelings of dissatisfaction. So it was a very subdued reading and very serious for me because you know me, you know me, I'm a little bit crazy. So that's how I was feeling. So what I would say to you today is I have no idea what I'm going to be feeling. I have no idea. But I changed it because, as I said, I haven't really been paying attention to the news. I heard about the tour and I thought it might be something interesting to do a reading on. However, the tour is now over. I don't know how much of an impact the publicity for the documentary made. So why would I do a reading on it? Plus, the tour's over. Was it a success? Was it not a success? I don't think it went down as badly as when they toured the Caribbean. Let's put it that way. That was a disaster. But you know. So, yeah. So I'm going to do a reading to find out. I mean, there's all kinds of issues with Harry and his dad, and I don't know if you heard, there was a massive row last week. I think it happened last week, Wednesday. Last week, Wednesday. They have a number of engagements at the palace over the course of the year. And they always like to invite charities and people doing positive things in their local community to the charity. Yes, I've switched topics very quickly. I know. Keep up. So, at the palace last week, I think it was Wednesday. It all blew up. Now, it wasn't on Wednesday that this took place, but a lady who had attended a palace reception at Buck House or one of them places. I think it was Buck House. Anyway, so she had attended this reception and she's a woman of colour. And it was put on by the Queen's consort, Camilla, and she invited people who had been doing things to support the victims of domestic violence. Now, whilst all these people who were head of charities, head of community programs, and doing all this stuff, they'd all been invited to the palace. Some of them had won awards, etc., etc. So they've been invited to network and discuss and, you know, talk about things going forward and how they could be more supportive. And Camilla herself was very interested in how she could be more supportive because a light needs to be shone on the victims of domestic violence. Excuse me, nose a bit runny. It's proper Mardi here. So chilly. It's right cold. Anyway, So this lady, she's there, and one of the ladies in waiting, a woman by the name of Lady Hussey, approached her, and she walks up to this lady and she says hello. And I mean, she's a lady in waiting. It's part of her job to be a host and to mingle and talk to people. Well, Lady Hussey, that is her name. I'm not actually calling her name. That's her actual name. Lady Hussey walks up to this woman. She's never met her before in her entire life, a complete stranger. And she takes it upon herself to move her hair out of the way of her name tag. Instead of asking this woman her name that she's never met before, she decides to physically touch her and her hair. And then, after invading this woman's personal space, she says, "Oh, so where are you from?" And the lady was like, "Oh, yes, but I'm from Sister Space." And she said, "No, where are you from?" And the woman says, "Oh, we're from Hackney." Because no. Where are you from? And she asks her this about 6 times. Where are your people from? And it got quite, I mean, it wasn't very nice anyway. And I have to say, I've experienced this myself. But I don't know if I've ever experienced it to this degree. Where are your people from? I've been in France for a while. So where are your people from? It got nasty. Really, really nasty. So, as I'm going to do a double bubble, don't ask me why I'm doing a double bubble. I must have lost part of my brain when I lost my mojo. But I'm doing a double bubble tonight. Okay? People want to know. They want to know. So, yeah. So, if anyone wonders why people find it so offensive when people ask that particular question, I want you to consider this, because maybe you're not looking at this for what it is, or you're not understanding how it reads to people of color. But what you've basically got is, you've got a person who is white, indigenous British, and they are looking at a person who is black or brown. Let's just call them brown, okay? And they are saying, "You are in my space. What are you doing here?" That's what that means. Please justify your melanin. You are brown. Can you please justify your reason for being here? How did you get here? How is it a person with melanin is here? Please justify your existence. That is essentially what is being said when a white person asks a brown person or whatever who's not white, "Where are you from?" And it's not like a one question like, "Oh, where are you from?" No, it's when they have a systematic agenda, and they ask the same question. over and over and over again. That's what that means. Justify your existence. Your face and your color doesn't fit. Please justify your existence to me. So, not only do we have racism here, we also have classism, because it's a sense of entitlement that you have the right to ask other people to justify their existence. So, for Lady Hussey, special lady, I'm going to use the Game of Thrones tarot, especially for her, even though she's not a politician. So, has Lady Hussey got form for doing this? Has she done this before? Has she made people of colour feel incredibly uncomfortable in her duties as a lady in waiting before? So let's have a look. Has she? Okay, let's have a look. See. I am going to go for that one, and then I'm going to go for this one, and I'm going to go for that one, and I'm just doing it crazy today. Okay, and this is, I think, the final card. Yes, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just going to go crazy. Okay, let's see how many cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh, first up, heartbreak. Seven of Swords. Covert maneuvers. Yeah. 5 of Spears. Actually, I'm going to put that there. That one goes there. 9 of Cups. Oh, yes, the fast exit. And then okay, so what am I seeing here? And I might have to double check something because I'd like to be on point. She's heartbroken. She's heartbroken. However, and it couldn't have come at a worse time. It could not have happened at a worst time. I think she has done this before. I think she's got form for making people of colour at the palace feel very uncomfortable. I look at the 7 of Swords, and the 7 of Swords to me is a thief in the night. It's the covert maneuvers. I want you to take note. This guy, well, it's Sam from Game of Thrones, but he's standing there and he's kind of standing in a corner. And he's doing this. That's what he's doing. He's like, he's doing that. He's peeking. This has been witnessed on more than one occasion by other palace insiders. They've seen this shit. They've seen it and they've said nothing. But they've seen it. She's done this before. Now, I just want to double check because sometimes I get a bit confused. For some reason, and don't ask me why, sometimes I get confused between the Five of Spears and the Five of Swords. Don't ask me why, I don't know. But, okay. Just going to double check because my brain, it's a good, anyway, I'm not going to say anything. Right, Five of Spears. Oh, yes, that the Five of Swords is the Pyrrhic victory. Argy bargy. Now let's see. This is, I would say, what would I say this is? I would say that this card, the Five of Wands, argy bargy. Much ado about nothing. Except that it's not nothing. There are other meanings, so let's have a look. Challenge, external conflict, struggle, rivalry, competition, unexpected problems, squabbles. Yes. Someone has noticed she's done this before. Now, I don't know precisely how it works to get picked as a lady in waiting. I don't know if there's a pecking order or something like that. But someone has noticed, they've taken note, they've mentioned since it all blew up that she's done this before. And they've done this because they want her place. They want her place. There's already been talk that ladies in waiting as a position is no longer going to be a thing, or it's going to be cut down drastically. So the people who currently are ladies in waiting, there's a competition as who will stay and who will go. They wanted her gone. They wanted her gone. She was a problem. So, in the past, I have the Nine of Cups. Okay, so this woman's an aristocrat and she has a sense of entitlement anyway. But she's also a lady in waiting, which is something that she wanted. It's something that she wanted. It's something that she aspires to. It was her wish. And she got that. She got what she wanted. But it blew up in her face. Let's have a look, see, because I like to be on point, as you know. Desires fulfilled. Ah, yes, of course, she got what she wanted. Smugness. She was very smug in the role. She felt very elevated and entitled. I think the word obnoxious might be appropriate. I think the word obnoxious might be appropriate. Which is why they were so keen to get rid of her. And of course, we know they got rid of her quickly. But this has already happened. So I did ask if she had form. Did she have form for doing this in the past? And the answer was yes, she did. And after she did it, they got rid of her quickly. So I'm actually reading on a past event, even though this would be in the place of future, you know. They got rid of her quickly. But as an outcome card, I got the Knight of Cups. What's the Knight of Cups about? What is the Knight of Cups about? So let me think. Now, the Knight of Cups is usually a card where someone makes you an offer. It's usually a romance card. It's often, new relationships. But, I'm not sure that this is all. No. No. I want to kind of say there's a trick going on. There's a trick going on. But who is the trick going on for? Someone's being misled. Is it us, the general public? I want an explanation for that Knight of Cups. Okay, I didn't expect it to go on this long, but I'm going to just bust this one out quick because, things. I don't know. Let's have a look at the bottom of the pack. All right. Okay. You know what? Rather than bust this out, having a look at the bottom of the pack. It's always good to look at the bottom of the pack, actually. Bottom of the pack, I've got moving on to calmer waters. So she's moving on. I have, confusion. What decision to make? This is sometimes an illusion, often a delusion. Delusion and confusion. Okay. I think she's going to retire. She's just going to retire. She's 83 years old. What is she going to do? She's going to retire. Retire and probably go abroad or something. I don't know. But for the palace. Yeah. Well, you know what? I've done enough. I've read enough on this. And frankly, what else do we need to say? It's done. Did she have form for this? Yes, she's done this in the past. Are we going to hear about it? If we do hear about it, if someone comes forward and they say something, there's trickery involved. I think that's what that Knight of Cups is. That's someone coming forward to spill the beans, and it's a complete load of hogwash. Yeah, and you know what? I'm going to stick with that. As for her career, the woman's 83 years old. Yeah, she's got more money than. She's got more money than everybody who lives in my building. Let's put it that way. Yeah. I mean, she's proper old. Not as old as my grandmother. Not to say that my grandmother is so old that she farts dust, but she's old. She's just going to retire. She's just going to retire and live her life. I don't know. Maybe she's going to spend time on the French Riviera. That's if she can get an EU passport. And, sip wine in the sunshine or something. She's just going to piss off and enjoy her life. And good luck to her. She can go along. So that's her. I ain't doing no more on her. What else is there to say? She's done it before. Somebody has noted it, and that's why they got rid of her so quickly. That's it. Right. Okay. Now, next. Wow. 30 minutes. It's a record. All right, people. What has everyone got to say here? All right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Well, she's defensive because she thinks she hasn't done anything wrong. Of course she doesn't. Because, look, man, straight up, Nana, please forgive me. My grandmother is 88 years old. And I'll be honest with you, over the years, she's opened her mouth and she said some things. The first time she said something, I was shocked. And then a few weeks ago, she said something else about a different race of person. And I was just like, oh man. And I already knew that she had certain views about people. I mean, the fact of the matter is, she's 88. She don't like nobody. But, and this is the kicker. Oh, hi, Sylvester, darling. How are you? Yes, she doesn't like anybody except West Indian people. Caribbean people, she'll rock with. Kind of. But the thing is that I could introduce someone who's not from the same race or the same background as myself to my nana. My nana would never behave so poorly. She just wouldn't do it. She just wouldn't do that. If I said, like, okay, I can go a step further. Let's say I'm dating a guy who's Asian, right? And I'm like, hi, Nana, this is my boyfriend. And I say, this is my grandmother. And they say hello. My Nana would never turn around and say to him, oh, so where are you from? I mean, she might ask where he was from, but it would not be a sustained interrogation. She might say, oh, where are you from? And like, let's say he says Birmingham. She'll be, oh, that's nice. I've got a lot of family in Birmingham too. That's the kind of thing she'd ask. If she asked him where he was from, she'd probably ask him more kind of like, which part of the country did you grow up in? That would be her question. I mean, she wouldn't be like, no, where are your people? She wouldn't do that. My nana wouldn't do that. And the reason why my nana wouldn't do that is because she's got manners. She's got manners. And she just wouldn't be so rude. So there's that. And I don't know why I'm talking about this still, because by rights, we should be looking at something else. Now, the thing that we should really be looking at is the question everyone's here for. Well, maybe not everyone, but I'd say this is a question that everybody wants to know. So, question I'm going to ask about about Harry and Meghan. Now, I didn't really want to use the Game of Thrones deck, to be honest, for this one. It just didn't feel appropriate. Didn't feel appropriate to use this deck. I'd much rather use the Rider-Waite Tarot for this one. I like to use my Light Seers Tarot for personal readings, and I like to use the Game of Thrones Tarot for politicians. I mean, celebrity readings, I would use, what's the fallout? So celebrity readings, I would use my Light Seers. I don't really consider Meghan and Harry Meghan and Harry celebrities, however, because they're royalty, and that's a step above celebrity. So, what will the fallout be? What will the fallout be? What will the fallout of Meghan and Harry's documentary series be? Okay, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that, and I'm going to take this card because I know it really wants to pop out. Okay. Yes. Okay, let's have a look. Yes. Yes. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Right. There's that. There. Right. Let's have a look. The archetype cards. Love these cards. They give me so much. So much. So very much. The archetype cards. Okay. Some people use this as a final outcome. I like to use these for energy. What is the energy after the airing of Meghan and Harry's documentary series? What is the energy in the family? What is the energy with Charles after the documentary series? What is the energy of the royal family after the documentary series? What is their relationship like? Oh dear, that's not good. What is the energy? Right, let's have a look. Let's see what I can see. Okay, here we go, here we go, here we go. I'm going to go for that one there, and I'm going to go for that one there, and I'm going to go for that one here. Here we go. Right. Now, because this is the main reading, we're going to go all in. Hopefully it won't take me an hour. Right. Okay. In response to the energy cards, please give me 3 cards in response to the energy cards, corresponding with the energy cards. 3 cards corresponding with the energy cards to shine a brighter picture. I'm going to go for that one. Oh, yes. 1, that one too. And this one. No, that one. Excellent. Okay. Babe. Yes. Those ones there. Right. And crowning everything. Oh, am I going to use this one? I picked up the Heavenly Bodies Tarot astrology deck. I don't know why I picked it up, but for some reason I picked it up. No idea why I picked it up, but somehow it's going to be relevant. Okay, message from Spirit. Oh, okay, let's see. The relationship between Charles and Harry. What will the fallout be? What will the fallout be in regards to the documentary? What will the fallout be? What will the fallout be? Somehow, okay, what messages does Spirit want to give us? I'm going to go for this one, and somehow, some way, oh yeah, that one, yeah, that one, and this one here. Oh gosh, you're hiding from me. Righty-ho. Now, final outcome, things to consider. I'm just pulling everything now because, oh no, you know what? I'm not going to do that. I'll do that afterwards or something. Right. So let's have a look. See. Let's see what we can. Oh my days! This is going to be terrible. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, Lord, have mercy. This is going to be so bad. So bad. So bad. Did anybody note the volcano that erupted in that card? Oh, Sylvester, darling, sweetie. Thank you so much for joining me. I don't know if I said before, but thank you. Oh, this is bad. This is bad. Did anyone else note the volcano? The volcano. This is payback. This is payback. And opportunity. Opportunity. I'm hearing in my brain the saying, in order to create, you must destroy. That's what these cards are saying to me. The destroyer card, give 0. Do you know what that says to me? Give nothing and take everything. Why have I got this card? It says here, too much screen time is making you awkward and sad. Go talk to a live person. Frankly speaking, I mean, if I was pulling the card for myself in my own reading, this would make sense. Here, I'm wondering, is it someone feeling awkward and sad because they're obsessing over the documentary? And they may feel like they need to talk to someone? Because this is under the Avenger card. This card kind of comes out as a warning. This card kind of comes out as a warning. You've got a good thing going, don't win. And that comes out under networker. I think what's being shown to me, what the feeling I'm getting here is that there is a motivation to avenge and motivation to get back. And you can get your satisfaction in the destruction of the other person or the thing or the issue by blowing it up. But by winning the fight, you lose. By winning the fight, you lose. By moving forward in this way, you lose. I noticed I didn't read the attributes. To be honest, I didn't feel it was necessary in this case. I thought the cards really said it all. So I'm not going to read them. Now, I'm not sure what this is about. I'm not sure why I've been instructed to pull these astrology cards. I think it might come out afterwards. So I'm going to put those to one side for now. Okay, let's crack on. First card I have is this one. And that's people standing around in corners, having conversations, coming together, making decisions. Okay. Yeah, it's interesting. This is an offer being made. An offer is being made. An offer of support. An offer of assistance, of help. This is an offer. But this is an offer that's you don't want. So I said, what will be the fallout? The base of the reading, Hanged Man, suspension. Not moving forward, not moving backward, suspension. Everything stops. I think it's fair to say the fallout from this will be a relationship coming to a grinding halt. Okay, why did they do this? They did this documentary because they need to generate money. And they have been isolated, pushed out, and left in the cold. It's been, you know what? It's funny because this is the second time this card's come up in tonight. It's the second time. Oh my gosh. Where are all these untrustworthy people? Somehow they're around the royal family. How did that happen? I don't know. Everything here is allegedly. This is just my opinion. I don't know anything. I'm a crazy woman on the internet who looks at cards and tells people things. All right. Yeah. So, I'm just saying. I'm just saying, this is just like my opinion. I have no, I mean, spirit, but would it stand up in a court of law? Yeah. There's all these untrustworthy people. Everybody's got an agenda. Everybody's got an agenda. Everybody and their pet corgi has an agenda. And if you think the corgis don't have agendas, they do, because they didn't want to stay with Andrew. And I don't blame them, in my opinion. Oh, right. Well, in the immediate future, we have the impetuous knight rushing forward without a thought. I would say in someone's mind, someone is mourning. This card, someone is mourning. They are mourning and they are feeling a loss. Of course, 2 cups remain, but 3 cups are overturned. And they have their back to the 2 that remain. You know what? Whoever's mourning, it's not Harry or Meghan. It's not Harry or Meghan who are mourning. Mm-mm. The figure that's mourning is it Charles or William? I think it's William that's mourning. I think it's William. Okay. The environment. I would say and I'm going to go into it more. I would say it's interesting that the judgment card in this deck has an English flag. Very interesting. Okay, right. Here goes. So, what I would say here, what I'm getting here, that knight is very impetuous. So, and I do apologize if I've been a bit funny or whatever, but I am a bit funny, so good luck. Right. So, Knight of Swords. I would say that the fallout in the immediate future, unexpected situations, impulsive. There will be a great deal of conflict. A great deal of conflict. Um, yeah, William will defend his father. He will come to his father's defense very strongly. And he'll be very calculating about it. Yep. There's no emotion here. There's no emotion displayed. But William will be fighting this battle on behalf of his father, which is why I see him here mourning. He's turned his back on Harry and Meghan. For him, this is the last straw. For him, for William, this is the last straw. He's turned his back on them once and for all. He's done. He's going to be champion for his dad. Now, in the minds, yeah, yeah, yeah. In the minds, right. Where I see William being the one to go out and fight this battle, I believe that this King of Wands is Harry. I believe in his mind this is Harry, I think. And he is going to be undeterred. Undeterred. It's funny because when I look at these cards, I have the King of Wands in line with the middle cards, the two middle cards, cards 1 and 2, excuse me, and cards 4 and 6. So that is telling me a story, actually. And the story it's telling me here is that Harry has gone from a place of, he's been in the background, he's been working on this situation. He has been made an offer that he didn't want, an offer he didn't like. He has decided to move forward because he felt isolated and alone and was worried about money because he's got a family now, right? And then, immediate future, impulsive action, not really thinking things through, just go forward, fight, attack kind of thing. Not really thinking things through, just like, I need to do this, I'm going to do this, boom, right? So there, even though the cups indicate emotions here, and the past card, which is the 5 of Pentacles, indicates a feeling of impoverishment and isolation and being forced out into the cold. right? Creativity has been sparked. Creativity has been sparked. This is no longer about emotion. This is no longer you got me all in my feelings. After his grandmother died, he was like, I'm done with you people. I'm done. How that's going to work out for him, I mean, I think it will work out well for him in some ways and maybe not so much in others. But here's the kicker: the judgment. The judgment. He will be judged. He will be judged by the people of Britain. And there will be a feeling, you know, the timing couldn't have been better. I would say, because this is not a card that's concrete, this is a card about hopes and fears. This is a card, because it's in my ninth placing, this is a card about aspirations and trepidations. There's something here where I see like the horn is being blown by the angel with with an English flag. Actually, I don't know why, but um, and the people are rejoicing and they're naked. It's like raptured or something. Um, it's almost like a message from the establishment, from up on high, and the people are cheering. I think for some people, I think that who are already wedded to the idea of, you know, the monarchy or the royal family or whatever, for some people, they'll be like, oh, yes, they're giving us guidance, and oh, yes, they're absolutely right. And they'll be wanting direction. I think those who've made up their mind have already made up their mind. I think that this is a factional thing now. People have taken a side and they've picked a side. And I think it's actually really hard for people to switch from one side to the other, even though this week was a clear example of exactly what Megan was talking about. In fact, I think for some people who may have been a bit on the fence, it would have made up their minds for them. It would have made up their minds for them. But to be honest with you, I don't think we're going to see Harry in this country for quite a while. Now, there was an issue just after the Queen's death in regards to money. There was an issue in regards to money. There is money out there. There is money to be had. There is money to be earned. Not a lot of money, but yes. This whole situation has provided them with a great opportunity to beginning a solid foundation, the documentary series. I don't know if there's going to be any other documentary series in regards to their experiences being in the royal family. This might actually be the final one in regards to the experience of being in the royal family, but it will not be the final documentary. There will be other documentaries they will do. They probably won't get as much for them, but they will be dealing with other issues, I would say. They will be dealing with other issues. Now, these cards, why did these cards come up? Okay, this card is okay. This card is Harry. In Vedic astrology, Harry would probably be a Leo. Self-confident, loyal, and creative. Yeah. House 3 here. The documentary is going to be discussing things about his early years. His early years will be up for discussion. Definitely. It will be about his childhood and the people he had around him and how they communicated. He's probably going to discuss what led to him putting on that Nazi uniform and fancy dress. He's probably going to discuss something along those lines. The final card I have here is Neptune, which is about illusion and dreams and intuition. Transcendence as well. I want to say, you know how sometimes there's people around and you don't like them and you really can't stand them and you don't exactly have a reason because the person hasn't actually done anything to you, but sometimes, not all the time, and maybe not you particularly, but sometimes there are people you know who can't stand one another. And the reason why they can't stand one another is because they are mirror images of each other. I think you have the firm who, like, they do the PR for the royal family, right? Well, Harry and Meghan have kind of created their own firm. So they're kind of mirroring each other. And I think that's part of the reason why this is also unforgivable. Because the power was supposed to be with the royal family and the royal household, not with Harry and Meghan. And they decided to escape to form their own firm. And that's unforgivable. People do not like it when you hold a mirror up to them. If they are in any way dishonest, they don't like it. An honest person will be like, you know what, you got a point. The dishonest person will lie even to themselves and say no. So, all that, let's do this. I can't believe it. 1 hour and 10 minutes, and I've done 2 readings. Amazing. It's a record. Yay. All right, peeps. I am going to start reading your things in a minute. I'm going to read and interact with you. It's just that I'm trying to get this out as quickly as possible because I know everyone has bits and pieces that they could be doing tonight, and you chose to spend time with me, for which I'm incredibly grateful. So let's have a look. See, what is the final outcome? What's the final outcome here? What does Spirit want us to know? What does Spirit want us to know? Let me just get that out of the way. Okay. Get these cards out of the way. And then I can have a look and see. Right. What does Spirit want us to know? What are the things? What message whole situation. What about the fallout? Okay, I'm going to go for this one. Okay, the message I have from Spirit today: healing the heart. Healing the heart. All right, before I do that, let me go into the chat. Yeah. Right, okay. Wow. Yeah. Right, Carrie. I think it's come to the point that he is cut off financially from the family. I think there was some money he was supposed to get when the Queen passed. Charles was in charge of the purse strings and he didn't get that money, or he didn't get anywhere near as much as he needed. He does have, you're right, Brett. Harry does have an inheritance from his mother. He absolutely does. Yeah. Oh, hi Tracy. Oh my gosh, you joined me. Oh my days. Oh, lovely. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So, yes, there was some money that Charles was in charge of that he was supposed to get, but I think he got less than a tenth of what he was supposed to get. And I think that with everything that went down when his grandmother passed, I think for him it was the final straw. Now, granted, I do believe he'd already started the Netflix series. It was probably being edited at the time, I would say. I mean, I'm not saying I know about these things because I don't really, but I think it was being edited at the time. If there was stuff that he wanted them to take out, he probably could have gotten them to take it out. I think with everything that went down with his grandmother's funeral, he may have even added some things, who knows? Or left some things out that, or left some things in that may have been taken out. But I think that was the final straw for him. And I do think that it will be William. You see, William has got this thing now where, and I've seen it before, where a son will try and fight his father's battles. A son will fight his father's battles against his other siblings, not realizing that the siblings have a right to their anger or to their feelings of discontent, the same as he has his right. Yeah, Tracy. It absolutely was. It absolutely was. But it's now William trying to fight on behalf of his dad. Instead of trying to build bridges or just work out maybe a new way of being. No. He's fighting on behalf of his dad because he feels that he has to. And he feels like if I don't fight for my dad, he will. So let's have a look at the card. Part of Harry doing this, I think, was healing his heart. It was an opportunity, apparently, for him and Meghan to tell their story and their love story and how they got together and how things fell apart. The book, I believe, will go more into Harry's time as a royal and what that meant for him, and maybe talking more about his recovery after his mother's death. But the documentary series is more about him and Meghan and their relationship, I believe. I could be wrong. But it will blow up some things because although you probably won't hear names, I've said it before, I'll say it again. This lady has form for making people of colour feel very uncomfortable, and she's not the only one. Oh, good evening, Musings by Manifa. Good evening, good evening. So, yeah, this whole thing is about healing the heart. So, I'm just going to launch into it. I don't want to keep you here all night. Okay, healing the heart. Key concepts: making amends, the willingness to release past pain, being responsible and accountable, taking time to get healthy, renewal and rebirth after suffering. Oh my gosh, renewal and rebirth after suffering. When you are wounded emotionally, you need time to regroup and find your center. You may have recently endured a breakup or betrayal, lost someone close to you, or lost an affiliation that you gave too much power to. Perhaps you're watching someone go through a difficult time and feel bad that you can't help. Maybe you're still not over a past disagreement. No matter the cause of this heartache, deep healing is called for. This happens on its own timetable and can never be rushed. The path to healing the heart centers on reciprocity, the flow of giving and receiving. Sometimes wounding occurs because we've become too dependent on another. This is accompanied by the desire to manipulate or control an outcome. Okay. We often believe we can be wounded only by others, but we do more damage to ourselves in the self sabotaging way we think and behave. Hmm. I do think there's actually an element of self sabotage here as well. I definitely can see that. Because if someone hurts you, your automatic response is to hit back. And this can be a knee jerk reaction that we do without thinking. It is important to take steps to heal yourself and become willing to release the pain of the past, which can be tempting to revisit. It is time to take responsibility for your part in the healing journey. Look for ways you can help yourself and others. Are you willing to make amends if needed? I don't think he's going to get the opportunity. Or conversely, accept someone where they are without trying to influence their growth process. You know what? I think that's exactly where they are now. I think that's exactly where Harry is. He's just like, you know what? These are how they are, And I believe them when they say this is how they are. So I'm not going to try to change anything. I'm going to just leave them to do them. Healing the heart in all aspects is your priority now. Yeah. This whole situation is about healing. This whole situation is about recovering from trauma. And yeah. So that's that. I don't need to labor the point anymore. So let me just have a look at the chat. Okay. Right then. Yeah. So oh right, Brett. You were saying not Brett, sorry, Sylvester. What do you mean in what way? What do you mean? Oh, what by what he wants? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't could you uh go into that a bit more, what you mean? In what way? Um yeah. Oh yeah. I always forget. Could everyone please like, share, subscribe, that stuff. Yeah, I always forget to say that. I know. Yeah. Oh, the self-sabotage. Thank you very much, Sylvester. Yes. When it comes to self-sabotage, let me see if I yeah. When it comes to self-sabotage, I think that it's very easy to react. So somebody does something you don't like, or they push, you know, and you push back. That's a very natural thing to do. Um, but there's ways of pushing back, and this is not a criticism of Harry and Meghan. I'm not going to criticize them because I haven't walked a day in their shoes. I don't know the stuff that they've been through. I've got an idea of some of the stuff that they've been through. And I know that Meghan has said. But everyone, you need to remember that regardless of the fact that all these people are famous, they're also a family. And as a family, there's certain things that you have to be very careful of discussing with outsiders. Now, it doesn't mean that his father's always been the best father. It doesn't mean that he's always been the best son. I mean, the situation is life, and life can be messy, and people are not perfect. But discussing all of your family's issues in public like this, in a way that we haven't really seen before, can have a really negative effect on your relationship with them. I mean, family can be a bunch of assholes. How do you deal with that? Well, one of the ways you can deal with that is to maybe only see them on special occasions, maybe once or twice a year, so you don't have to be in their energy. Another way you can deal with that is, I don't know, move to the other side of the country and just send somebody a phone call for Christmas once a year. But to talk about their personal family things in such detail, while it can be financially lucrative and beneficial, because obviously they have a family and stuff like that, the problem is the hurt that it leaves behind. Now, if you're already hurt by problems you've got with your family, talking about it to everybody might not be the best idea. That's what I mean when I say self-sabotage. because we need to remember that they are an actual family. Now, does it mean that it was okay for the way that Meghan and Harry were treated? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And to be perfectly honest with you, I think that if they had been treated with a little bit more care, a little bit more warmth, a bit more welcome, we wouldn't still be hearing about all of this stuff. I think that when the Queen died, it was just like, you know what? That's it. We're going full throttle, 100 miles an hour. We're doing this shit. That's what I think. Because for him, there was no one else that he needed to hold on for or hold out for. Nobody else. He didn't feel he was getting support from his brother. He didn't feel he was getting support from his father, although he never really had. But from his brother, once the issues between Meghan and Kate got to the point where these two couldn't stand the sight of each other, and of course, William's going to take his wife's side to some extent. But he's definitely going to take his wife's side because we know that Willie had things going on. I'm just saying, he had things going on. So, bye-bye. Yeah, once all that happened, there was never really any chance. Never really any chance. So yeah, there are issues with self-sabotage. And yeah, absolutely. Everyone unmasked themselves after the Queen's death. Everyone. And please note, the corgis said they did not want to be with Andrew either. So it wasn't just the humans, it was also the animals in the family as well. They made their feelings very clear. Anyway, so that's it from me. I've done 1 hour and 27 minutes. And yeah, I've done 2 readings. Wow, that's amazing. So yeah, that's it really. But yeah, everyone, I want to thank you all for joining me. I will say good night, good evening, good afternoon, and good morning to those who watch on the replay. Hopefully you can join me here again soon. I will be back on Friday, where I'll be looking at the future of British democracy in regarding to voting. And I'm sure there's some other bits and pieces I'm going to be covering as well over the period. Mostly politics, as you know. I think I might go a bit international next time. Might look at some international politics. There's some interesting things happening in South Africa. Yeah, with Ramaphosa. Ramaphosa had something between 500,000 and 5 million, was it US dollars, in his sofa? I find it interesting. 500,000 or 5 million, but you don't know which one it was. One is 10 times the figure of the other, but you don't know which one it was. Someone nicked his sofa. I mean, to be honest, 500,000 US dollars or 5 million. How much does it cost for me to rent a van and get a couple of fellas and move that sofa? I'm just saying. How much does it cost? I mean, maybe you're talking about 100 US dollars, maybe 200 US dollars, and then maybe give them one each. So call it 400 US dollars to move 500 grand or 5 million. interesting. So yeah. All right, people. Thank you for joining me, and I'm out. Good night. Good night. Good night. Oh, I'm also available for personal readings. So if you'd like to email me at showintheends@gmail.com, then you can book a personal reading with me and I will be thorough. Okay, good night. Ta-ta.